Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Let's talk about a video that I promised you guys I would do before Thanksgiving. I'm recording this on the first or second week, the first week of November. I don't know when y'all are going to get it, but I promise I will post it before Thanksgiving. So hopefully soon. Why do avoidants avoid holidays with you? And what can you do instead so that they stop doing that? That's a topic for today. And yes, I will make another one closer to Christmas as well as gift giving. Don't worry, those are in the works as well. Haven't recorded it yet, but I will record it and it will be posted before that holiday, okay? So let's first talk about why they do it, okay? Then we're going to talk about what to do instead. It feels like an expectation that basically makes them feel like the day is special and it has to be special, and that creates a higher risk of failure. So Thanksgiving is the one that's coming up, so let's use Thanksgiving, okay? Thanksgiving is a holiday where you guys cook together, pray together if that's your thing, right? Whatever you guys are doing, Thanksgiving is a lot of that. Sometimes there's a little bit of vulnerability. Some families drink, some families play games, some families watch TV together. And so it doesn't even have to be family. Let's just say it's you and this person, right? Those expectations might show a lot more vulnerability about maybe their lack of composure on these certain things, maybe who they are. Maybe it invites you in to expect more from them, right? Maybe they have to be on their best behavior. Maybe they have to dress a certain way. They got to wear like that button-up shirt that matches your dress. And that's fine. You want to take pictures. And so these expectations are adding up to which they feel like, oh, what if I don't know how to smile in a picture? She's going to get mad at me. Or what if I don't know how to cook whatever, he's gonna be disappointed? Or what if I don't know what's on TV or what to do at this time? Or maybe they didn't grow up with a family that did holidays, so now they're like, what do I cook? What should I make? Should we do a ham or should we do a chicken because it's just me and you? Or should I do a whole turkey and like break it up? Whatever it is, they're afraid of these things. And all of these thoughts are things that you didn't even instill in their mind, but they in fact are worried about it, right? And so there are so many ways they could fail. They could fail by cooking. They could fail by what they're wearing. They could fail by their mood. What if they're not in a good mood and it's Thanksgiving? They have to be happy. So many ways they could fail. So that's one of the first reasons they avoid holidays with you, because you matter. If it's like a Friendsgiving, they don't care about those things. They don't care if they disappoint that person. Sorry to say, it's true. But it matters. I'm not saying that you should let them avoid the holidays, but I'm just telling you what it is, okay? The next one is, I know a lot of you guys are like this. It's okay. You really like the holidays. And because you really like them, the pressure is really high. And they don't want to disappoint you or upset you if they don't do it right, okay? I've talked about like the pedestal type of thing. This is not the same thing, but I've talked about like my thing is when I struggled with this attachment style, like of myself, I had, a lot of people would put me or anybody who's an avoidant on a pedestal, and like I didn't like that feeling, because being put on a pedestal means that if I don't do something a certain way, at one point you're going to yell at me or it's going to crash down or whatever it is, and nobody likes being put on a pedestal, okay? That's that kind of pressure. Similarly, if you really, really, really like something, it feels kind of like that, because it's like, I really, really like this, so if you don't do this, I'm going to be really upset, I'm going to be disappointed. Fine, fair enough. But it's also like, if you don't do it the way I want to, this is that maybe you're not even doing this, but this is what it feels like. It's the same thing with a pedestal. If you don't do something the way I like it or want to, I'm going to get really mad and really angry. I might even get really nasty. I'm not saying you will. That's how it feels. And so that is very scary. It's a lot of pressure. And so it's like, okay, I know I'm going to make you mad if I say no, but I know I'm going to make you even more mad if I try and I fail. And so that is why a lot of avoidants might not like the holiday. So this one's kind of easy. Just put your foot off the gas about holidays. Usually they might lean in eventually, okay, to fix. But we'll talk about that later. The next one is holidays. This one is actually huge. I don't think a lot of people realize this. I would say this one is one of the most significant ones. It's going to sound silly, okay? And this might be more specific to the United States. But holidays here in the United States, they're usually a time where stores are closed or not open throughout the whole day. A lot of folks are off work. A lot of people aren't working. And so it's like a perfect alone day. It's a perfect day to decompress, and they don't want to give that up. They don't want to give away their autonomy. They planned on doing, just watching football, whatever it is. They don't want to do Thanksgiving. They want to do this. And so it's my way or the highway thing that's just clashing with yours. You want holidays. They want to sit at home without anybody, not just you, but anybody, just by themselves. They don't want to eat all that food. They want to eat their food, whatever they want to eat. Maybe they just want to have cereal for dinner. That's what they want that day. And they don't want to change their schedule or do something new just for the holidays, right? That's kind of the clash, which has nothing to do with you. And we're going to talk about how to adjust that eventually, because that's about compromising, right? But they felt like this is that perfect day. No one can bother me. And they're just by themselves. That's how they feel, okay? And the next one is, if they do holiday one year, you'll expect it every year. And that means that they have to lock into this relationship, or that means they're set up to fail. What if one year they don't want to? Are you going to get really mad, even more mad? Should they just never go to holidays because of that? And so it almost feels like they have to continuously do that. So their mind is they have to commit to holidays this year, but also every year after. That's how they feel. So those are 4 of the reasons why avoidants avoid holidays with you. Okay. So what to do instead to make holidays a little bit easier for both of you guys. Okay. The first one is make it known you want to spend holidays together. Okay. And maybe that's enough. Maybe because you said, I want to spend holidays, they do that. But sometimes they don't. And so what happens if they can't? If they can't, express disappointment in an honest and genuine way. You don't have to crash out. Just explain how you feel honestly. Your feelings do make a difference, and it's going to make a difference in the long run, okay? That's very important. A lot of you guys don't want to express your disappointment. That's not going to be healthy. You have to show your feelings because they have to get better at tolerating them. Avoidant attachment, you don't have to placate that. Same with your attachment style. We're trying to heal together, right? You guys want to become more secure. You have to show your feelings in order for them to be more comfortable with them, okay? Like I said, you don't have to crash out because that might be a little overwhelming, but you have to express them in an honest and genuine way, okay? The next one is you want to express an alternative way if they genuinely cannot make that adjustment or don't want to because they're stubborn. A lot of avoidants are stubborn. Let's be honest, okay? Typically, the best way to make an alternative that works, usually, this one's pretty surefire. It doesn't work for every avoidant, but for as long as I've been practicing, this one almost always works, okay? Typically, celebrate the holiday on a different day than the actual holiday. So, Thanksgiving, Thursday, right? The Thursday that's coming up in a couple weeks when I'm recording this. I don't know when I'm going to submit it, but it's in a couple weeks from now, okay? That Monday. If you guys have Thanksgiving on that Monday or Tuesday instead of Thursday, they're more likely to do it. Why? Because it's not a special specific day. It's not pressured. They still get Thursday to relax. They don't have to do anything. However, what you can do to make that compromise is you can also say, I don't want you to go to any other celebration for Thanksgiving. We're going to have Thanksgiving on Monday, and on Thursday, neither of us are going to do anything for Thanksgiving. So it still makes it a little bit special, but it's not as pressure as on that day. Usually this works, and then what ends up happening is the 4th step, okay? Once they get comfortable doing that, remember, with avoidance, it's a long game. Just being honest, okay? Reintroduce that idea of doing it on the actual day, the actual Thursday, okay? Let's just say right now, year 2025, okay? You guys did it on Monday. Then maybe 2026, you also did it on Monday. 2027, let's reintroduce Thursday, again, the real Thanksgiving day, and see what they do. Usually it's more easier for them to commit to it because they already know what a holiday with you looks like because they've done it on Monday. And then as soon as they do that, it pretty much is a lifetime, okay? Because once avoidants commit, they really commit, right? So once they actually do it on Thursday, you're going to be with them Thanksgiving probably for the rest of their life, okay? So let's go ahead and summarize, and then we're going to wrap it up, okay? So why don't they spend holidays with you? The expectation of the special day makes it feel like they're the higher risk to disappoint. You really like holidays and that they don't want to disappoint you. The third one is holidays are usually a very good time for them to have alone time and they don't want to be interrupted. So nothing to do with you. And the last one is if they do holiday one year, they're going to have to do it every year and that makes them feel pressure, okay? So what to do instead? Make it known you want to spend holidays. If they can't do that, express disappointment in an honest and genuine way. You don't have to crash out, but be clear about your feelings. The next one is you want to express that alternative. Typically, it's going to be a different day of the holiday. You celebrate Thanksgiving on a Monday. That was the example you were using. You celebrate Christmas maybe after Christmas holiday, whatever it is, or before, or that week, whatever it is, to set up the comfortability, the comfort of rotating, not even rotating, having that holiday through your life, let's say for 2 or 3 years, right? And then you set it up on the actual holiday. That probably didn't make sense, but we're going to go into the fourth one, okay? The fourth one is once you've introduced that specific holiday and you guys have committed to it on an off day, now you're going to start doing it on the actual day. And then they'll start getting more comfortable with it. With an avoidant, it's usually long-term. It's usually a little longer. It takes longer for them to do something that other secure attachment or anxious or sometimes even fearful avoidance, but this is for both fearful and dismissive, they're more comfortable doing. Hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.